Yes. My name is Robert Rasa, last name is R-A-S-A. I'm a captain with the Public Information Division for the Cyfair Volunteer Fire Department. I can give you information as far as what the fire department and EMS response was to the scene. We received the initial call at 11:17 at our dispatch center. We received multiple calls. We were able to stage immediately. One of our fire stations is actually here on location of this college. So we had of the 12 patients, 3 of them, I'm sorry, 4 went via helicopter life flight with critical injuries. 2 went via ground, via ambulance to Herman downtown with moderate injuries. 6 were taken to North Cypress Hospital with minor injuries. We also had 3 patients that were treated on scene and were refusal. So we treated a total of 15 patients on scene.
How do you guys got the call? I mean, how long did it take you to get here? And most important, you got all the suspects. I know you fire, but I mean, you know.
As far as our response, we were immediately staged. We actually have a fire station on location of the college. So an ambulance and an engine were staged, and we also had our EMS supervisor, which was on location as well. So we had units that were staged while law enforcement was clearing the area.
Where were these people on campus? Do you know anything about how they sustained their injuries?
I don't have any information as far as how the injuries were sustained. We did treat 12 patients, 15 patients. 12 were transported.
Was that in the Health and Science Center or outside?
They were all towards the inside the Health and Science building, and there's an adjacent building that also had some patients.
And men and women?
Yes, students, yes.
Do you know how many females, how many males?
I don't have that information at this time.
Were people stabbed in the face? Was that a common injury?
We had injuries, multiple injuries on the face and neck area and stuff like that. So.
Did you see anyone being restrained by police? You see any suspects in custody?
No. When we were allowed in, law enforcement had already secured the scene for EMS.
So those were minor injuries, but any vital injuries?
You'd have to check with the law enforcement side of it. The Sheriff's Department is sending a public information officer, as well as the college. Michelle Tran is the public relations representative that's on scene.
Can you just go back again? 15 total taken to a hospital?
We had a total of 15 patients. 12 were transported. 3 were treated on scene and refused transport.
Vital injuries to those?
4 were taken via helicopter.
Okay.
4 were taken via helicopter. We had 2 taken by ground with moderate or intermediate injuries to Herman downtown, and then the rest were taken to North Cypress Hospital with minor injuries.
How big are the wounds?
How bad are they?
Again, we had 4 that were critical, 2 that were moderate or immediate, and then the rest were taken minor injury.
Any names you could give us?
I don't have any.
One person did all of this damage?
I'm not sure. You'd have to check with law enforcement. I can tell you from the fire department and EMS side, what we treated and what we transferred.
When you arrived here today, were there people outside, wounded people outside the building?
Outside of the Health Science Center, yes. There were patients inside and outside.
Was there a path that you could discern of injured people
Not
from
really.
outside inside?
Not really. We were kind of trying to create a triage area to treat everybody. That's where we're putting all our resources and our ambulances.
How many ambulances here from your
From our department, we had 8 ambulances total.
Were all injuries sustained by stabbing?
I couldn't tell you for sure.
Robert Rasa
I
from
know
the
a
Cyfair
lot, most of them
Volunteer
were
Fire
stab
Department.
injuries, but I couldn't tell you all. Cyfair Volunteer.
Captain, what's your name, please, again?
Robert Rasa, R-A-S-A is the last name.
And you with whom?
Cyfair Volunteer Fire Department.
Thank you, sir.
11:15, a call dropped here at Lone Star College, 9100 block in Parker, Cypress. The first initial reports were as a male suspect. We had multiple stab victims. As you've learned by now, we've had a total of 14 victims. 4 were by life flight, ground transported also victims from here, and 2 refusals. At this point, this is what I have. We have 1 suspect in custody. As far as we know, he is the only suspect at this point. If anything changes, I will bring you up to date on that. But as of right now, we have 1 suspect.
Is a student?
Bodie.
I can't tell you anything to confirm that right now, but this is what we have. We have the suspect. The situation has been detained. The school is on lockdown. Once that has been done and we have gone through and the investigation continues, I will be able to give you more information. The Chancellor of the college and Sheriff Garcia will be giving an official statement here within the hour or so. Bear with us, it's a fluid scene. As soon as I can get everything I can, I will bring it out to you and we'll get it all covered.
Can you tell us?
Initial reports are that the suspect was going from building to building and had stabbed multiple victims from one building and he ran to another. 4 were life-flighted, 6 by ground, and 2 refused any medical treatment and were released.
And can you talk about the suspect? You have 1 in custody.
We have 1 male suspect in custody. I don't have a name on him to be released yet. As soon as we, when we determine that, I will release that.
How many others are you looking for? We're hearing 2 more.
As of right now, we only have 1 suspect in custody. We don't think there's any others as far as right now.
4 are in critical condition, correct? 4 students?
4 students were life-flighted. Their severity, their injuries, I don't have, but obviously they were critical enough to be transported.
School is still on lockdown?
The school is on lockdown until we conclude our initial investigation, and then when we seem safe enough, then we'll be able to release it.
Any motive?
No motive at this point, no.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Run over our count one more time. 14 is the initial that I have. 14 victims, 4 were life-flighted, 6 to 8 by ground, and 2 refused any type of treatment.